Hey there, humans! It is I, the one and only BigGreenBeast, and today we are going to be playing some 19W34A. That's right, guys, the 1.15 snapshot is finally here. I know I'm probably like really late. Don't question about it. I've been away for a while, and we have some new things now. As you can see, I'm holding some honeycomb. They now have the honey bottle, the bee nest, which is, as you can see, naturally spawning on this tree right next to me, Beehive, which you can make to store all your bees, and finally, the actual bee itself. I'll be showing you all of these and their functionalities before we get into today's video, and I promise nearly every single one of these will have its own special time in today's 5 things you can do in Minecraft 1.15 with the new blocks, mobs, and items. Let's do this. Okay, so first off, let's get started with the basics. Honeycomb. Honeycomb you can get from bee nests. You cannot eat it, but I believe you can craft it into sugar, and you can use wooden planks and honeycomb to craft a bee nest. Honey bottle. Right-click on a bee nest or hive that is full of honey to obtain it. I believe you can drink it, and it does absolutely nothing. The bee nest. These naturally spawn in certain biomes, I believe, including the spruce forest, like I'm in, flower forests, etc., etc. They're the natural home of bees. When they're full, then these little holes will glow yellow with golden, delicious, dripping honey. You can right-click it with an empty bottle to get a bottle of honey, or with shears to get the honeycomb. Just warning you, if you do either of these things, any bees that are inside this will fly out, they'll be angry, and they will start attacking you with their poisonous stingers. More on that when we get to the bees. The beehive does literally the same thing as the bee nest, except I don't think you can tell when it's full, and they don't spawn naturally. And finally, what you've all been waiting for, the bees, and here it is. And it is adorable. Now these bees are actually quite large, but still some of the smallest mobs in the game. Yellow box, they have 2 antennae sticking out, big stinger in the back, 2 little flappy wings, and big blue gorgeous adorable eyes. And the baby ones look even cuter, same thing but even tiny. They'll follow their parents, and of course, like all bees, they usually have a home hive. Bees will choose either a beehive or a bee nest. They don't have a preference over either. And sometimes the bee will go near it, and I can't get them to do it now, but sometimes the bee will go near the beehive or nest and they'll disappear. That means they've gone inside it, and sometimes they'll appear next to it, and that means they've come out. They do that to collect flowers. They only take certain flowers, like poppies for example, which they need to make the honey. If there's no flowers around, then you won't get any honey from these. I think all is said and done about the things in this 1.15 snapshot. Just drank that delicious honey. Anyway, I am going to be showing you, first things first, something about this incredible beehive. Now, the beehive on its own doesn't look very interesting. It's just kind of a box. Why don't we decorate it a little bit with these? Yep, that's right. We're going to be making a really cool looking, actually functional beehive in Minecraft. First, the scaffolding block, which is kind of like the stand it sits on. The beehive itself, which looks really cool. I like it. I like it. I like how the top's a different color than the bottom, and I just really like the different texture. It doesn't look like any sort of wood I've ever seen. Putting some signs on the side. This just gives it some nice shape. And finally, or not finally actually, this will do nothing if you right click it, but when it's full of honey you can shear it and things. There's a bee. So, birch trapdoor on top, and finally a tripwire hook here. And yeah, it's kind of like a big beehive sitting on stilts with a little spigot that the honey comes out of. And just for one extra little detail, almost forgot, you can put a little flower pot down here. It looks like a bucket that the honey drips into as it's being collected, and it looks really cool. You can use this in a number of ways. My example is this, which I personally like to call myself Bee Hollow. It's so cozy. So we walk in, it's a nice path, as any respectable bee farmer would have. We have these very shambly, old, fenced-in flowers, rows and rows of different kinds, all that bees love. Before we can get into working with bees, we have to be careful. We have to get the proper supplies. We have to get our suit, which is just like a beekeeper suit. It's white with the screen hat to protect us from bees. And also we have some shears to collect honeycomb and a smoker to seduce the bees. The smoker doesn't actually work, it's just here for decoration. As we walk in, this is the main part. Now that we're protected, we can safely walk around the bees. They're nice and bumbling, talking to them within themselves. Not to themselves, that would be crazy. Who would do that? Anyway, flowers, you know, they're by the beehives. It's a really fun time. I made a couple of them with the pots. There's two big giant trees looming over us. It's kind of like a bee sanctuary. There's these lanterns hanging, and there's actually a normal beehive hanging too. Here for decoration I have some barrels with gold pressure plates on them. It looks like they're full of honey. I have some lids lying around. Nothing's underneath them, I assure you. And yeah, I absolutely love this place. I'm gonna see if any of these have... Nope. 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 Well, I think I've collected all the honey from them, and I think we can safely say that this is a really cool use of the beehive. Just a disclaimer, I want to say that this design is not directly copied from, but inspired by Magma Musin. There should be a link to his channel popping up on the screen right now if you want to go check out the original design. I don't think he used actual beehive blocks. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'll have to check it again. Anyway, let's put our supplies away, take those off, use them another day. And, yeah. I just love this place. This is probably one of my favorite builds out of this whole thing, out of this whole video, because it feels just so, like, cozy and homey. Speaking of homey, I'm sure you've noticed by now the nice little house that's sitting right here. It looks really funky. The roof has an interesting texture. I think it's really cool. I think it could use some more decoration on the outside. But what are you? Bee. Yep. No bees allowed. In here it's really cool. We have some windows, and bam! Look at that. I think you recognize this. It's the beehive block used as a kitchen countertop, which yeah, I think they look really nice because the bottom's different color than the top. It looks like this polished countertop. This kind of looks like a cupboard, but obviously we also need actually functioning cupboards, so we have barrels, this chest that doesn't open, you know, it's dark in that corner, lanterns. I love the new lanterns, they look so cool. This bee who's dancing, he likes to take baths. Flower, nice chimney, chopping block, you get it. Let's just quickly hop upstairs. Nothing much up here. It's actually, yeah, pretty dusty and cobwebby. Chest, bed, chimney, yeah. It's really dreary and dark in here. Speaking of dark, I'm feeling a little adventurous, so let's go exploring. Now here, I noticed in the outro, or the intro, there's some cobblestone. Does it lead somewhere? Let's see, it keeps on going down here, goes further, goes on. Whoa. I don't know, this looks pretty freaky. I might go inside. Let's see. It's a very small tunnel. It looks almost man-made. Or player-made, I don't know. Cobwebs. What's this? It's dirt, but it's reddish, almost yellow. It's a very strange color. Wait a second. What are these? There's holes in the wall. Wait a second. Is this a dungeon? Wait a second. Is this a spike trap? It couldn't be a spike trap, could it? No, I wonder who would think that these lovely little bee nests look like spike traps when they're lined up on a wall. That person must be really weird. Well, I guess I'll run through. Wish me luck! I made it. But what's in here? Wait, lights? What was that noise? The spike trap. It's closed behind me. I can't escape. Well, I guess I'll have to check and see what's inside the chest. A totem? Doimacini top. I think I pronounced that right. I just checked on Google Translate. It means find the button in Azure beat Connie. Well, I guess that means we'll take it and we'll find the button wherever that is. Well, that was easy. Whoa, it's gone dark. Spikes, they disappeared. Let's go. Yes. Oh, that was a close one. Man, it's a miracle we made it out alive. We were so lucky. Speaking of luck, I think it's time we tried our hand at some gambling. Here we're inside this lovely little makeshift casino, and I found a stall that really catches my eye. It might just be the flashing purple arrows or the sparkling diamonds. Miner's luck. I wonder what that is. There's a chest covered by iron bars. I'm gonna stop role-playing, guys. that last one was really dumb, the dungeon. I just thought that, like, bee nests lined up look like spike traps, so I made a dungeon to put them in. Just a building idea for all you adventure map builders out there. Anyway, this one is pretty simple. It's a game where you toss a token across the ice. You get it perfectly on the gold pressure plate. If you do that, then you bam, lights up, and this reveals, and you get whatever the prize is. Don't know why I themed it around mining, or why there's a pillager banner here. I guess the eyes looked kind of nice with the diamonds. Anyway, let's go inside. By the way, the whole theme of this is that I thought that honeycomb here in my hand, which you probably noticed by now, looks like money. It looks like a stack of coins, you know, little golden coins. And I could have made a shop, I could have made it like a ATM, but no, I had to make something gambling, because ATMs are just not interesting. So what we do here is we put in one handful of coins, or one bit of money, and this dispenses out a token for us. And we throw the token, Oh, so close. It was too slippery. Okay, so we threw it all the way through. As you can see, the lights do light up depending on where it is corresponding. If you land exactly on this gold pressure plate, then you get the jackpot. I'm gonna try a couple more times. I'll try my hand at it. Another token. Nope. Try again. Oh man. Okay, here's what, guys. I'll just keep on trying, and I'll tell you when I've finally done it. Yes! Yes! I did it! Look, it's on the pressure plate! Quickly, quickly! Look! It's lit up, and the chest is revealed. And inside there is more money. Okay, well, that was pretty fun, guys. I hope you liked this one. And for all you people who want to make this game in your own worlds, I'll show you the redstone. It's not that complex. But trust me, this was a pain for me to make. I didn't follow any tutorials. This is all my own design. So, I'll show you how it works. Basically how it works is when something is on the blue ice, because that's what it is, or it activates the pressure plate, and the blue ice gets powered, it goes through this, it powers this block, which powers the torch, which goes up, which goes here. It's a double NOT gate, so it's true, and that powers the redstone lamp, which lights up corresponding to where it is. Now this particular one, the jackpot one, goes up to the second circuit, where first of all it goes up to this NOT gate to this, but this is the actual redstone power that comes over here. This circuit here is just really simple, a NOT gate to keep this shut until they win. Now how this works is I can't just have a simple redstone circuit coming up here, because if they just go over the jackpot square, then I don't want the jackpot to open up. So what I did is I had two circuits. I had an AND gate. I have to have this and this going at the same time, but the second part of the AND gate is slightly delayed. So here's how it works. If something breezes over, it'll activate this, and this will shut in, allowing the redstone circuit to pass through. But since these are timed, it'll take a little while for it to get through. So if the thing's already off by that point, this immediate redstone circuit will shut off, and by the time the redstone gets through here, it won't activate. So it has to be sitting on the pressure plate for at least 12 ticks before the redstone is activated or deactivated, depending how you look at it, and lets you into the jackpot prize money pool. So yeah, this thing here has got a whole lot of redstone. Here's the redstone for the token dispensing. Puts it here, filters it out, comparator comes down here, fires from that. Here's all the money, or money and honeycomb, I guess, because they both work. And yeah, boy, this thing was a pain. It was a whole lot of redstone. Speaking of redstone, we have our final thing of the day, which is the automatic bee farm. Now, this whole thing here works wondrously. It is my own design. Took a little bit of planning. I don't know if anyone's made one of these, but this is my design. It's the smallest design I could make. I'll tell you why I couldn't make it any smaller as I'm describing how it works. So how this thing works is this. There's a beehive, right? There's a couple of bees in this chamber. There's a single flower. All it needs is a single flower. The bees can make the honey. They go inside here, they make the honey, and the honey level goes up. Each hive has 5 levels of honey, and once it gets to 5, it's full, and you can actually shear the honey. Now, dispensers can do this automatically for you. So I have a dispenser there, full of shears, and I have a simple redstone circuit that activates it, either by this button or by this daylight sensor. I have do daylight cycle turned off, so it won't do it automatically, but I'll show you how it works. So I have this here. I have a small slot here where I can breed the bees to make more. I have this barrel where I can collect the honeycomb that it automatically makes. Yeah, all you really need is to get 2 bees into this thing, and it's not too hard. I'll show you how when I show you how to make it. This thing works. I'll show you. I click this, it's sheared, the honeycomb goes flying in every which direction. The angry bees that are inside it come out, and the honeycomb gets collected in here. That number's higher than the one it was before, I believe. Now, the reason why the interior has to be so spacious is because the bees can survive in just a 1x1 space. But first of all, when the bees get angry and you shear it and they pop out, they can pop out like 2 blocks in any direction, I believe. The second block is covered obviously by blocks, but the first one has to be empty for them to be able to spawn back inside the actual contraption to make it efficient so you don't lose bees. That would be bad. Also, angry bees escaping from the contraption isn't good because then they'll poison you. Directly underneath it, for some reason, the honeycomb won't fall, so that's where I've put the single flower. They only need 1 flower, and you can actually use that flower to, if I can breed them, come over here, bee. Yep, to breed a baby, and for some reason, neither the big bees nor the baby bees will fit through the half block gap, and I don't know why that bee is taking damage. But yeah, the more bees you have in here, the more efficient the farm will be. Get it? Bee. Haha, I'm so funny. And, yeah. Also, just as quick, brief description. The button and the daylight sensor are just two ways. There's no way to detect the beehives changing. Why did that bee just die? That's so sad. Oh well, I still have all the grown-ups. Let's try and breed them again. I think these guys can't be bred. Yeah, only the middle one. It's the problem with having 3 bees. Anyway. It's so that the daylight sensor automatically recycles it, but if it's full of honey and you see that it hasn't been sheared yet, you can do it yourself. Anyway, I think I've said enough about this topic. Let's get on to how to build it. Now, to build this thing, you're gonna want everything I have here in my inventory. So you're gonna want 1 dirt or grass. Dirt is more common. 78 blocks of your choice, so that's a stack, and 14. It can be any block, just not redstone zombie impaler, and particularly nothing flammable so your build doesn't catch on fire. 8 hoppers, 1 flower of your choice. Now, not every flower works. I know a couple that work. Poppies work, dandelions work, alliums work. Those are the purplish ones. I don't know about the others. Observer, 1 observer. 8 bits of glass, make sure they're full blocks, can be any color, but I prefer clear. 1 daylight sensor. 1 button, preferably stone. 1 bee nest, you can find these in the wild in various forests. They're actually quite common in the Snapshot, so that shouldn't be too hard. Just careful when you break them, because bees might fly out and attack you. So be prepared to run. Get it? Be prepared to run. Okay, I'm so bad. 1 dispenser, 1 to 9 shears, because you're gonna want to put shears in the dispenser, so if they break, you might want duplicates. 1 slab of your choice, again, not a flammable one. Luckily, there's no such thing as a redstone slab block, so zombie impaler, you can't thwart me this time. And finally, 1 redstone dust. Let's get to building this thing. Oh, I nearly forgot. You're also going to need 1 barrel or 1 chest. Barrels are easier to make. So yeah, we'll just use that. Or if you're in an earlier... No, wait, that wouldn't make any sense. Then you wouldn't have a bee nest. Okay, barrel. For layer 1, you're going to want to put down your barrel, like that, okay? You're going to want to... Wait a second. Yeah, okay. We're good, right? Yeah, okay. Build an enclosure, so it encloses a 3x3 space. Wrong block placement. Don't miss out on the corners. They're important. I'll tell you why when I'm done, and shoot, I goofed up. That's looking better. Okay, so 1 dirt in the middle of the 3x3, and hoppers, all eventually leading to the barrel. So place the hoppers facing into each other, just like this. So if you drop something in the hopper, it will eventually appear in here. This is how we collect our honeycomb. Anyway, on to layer 2. Now, for layer 2, you want to put a slab on top of the barrel, 2 bits of glass next to that slab, fill in the rest of that area with the block of your choice. I'm using iron blocks. I think they look cool. You could use like literally dirt, anything you want. Not redstone zombie impaler. Finally, a single bee accepted flower, doesn't have to be a poppy, on the bit of dirt or grass that you have. Okay, I believe this is everything you're going to need for this level. Your glass, 3 bits of glass over that. There's a small slit here so you can, breed your bees. 1 bee nest, preferably facing the front of the machine, right on top of that flower. You're gonna want... Did I mess up? Yeah, okay, some of the things in my hand you're not going to need. Okay, all the way around, you're going to do this, just like before. And that should be everything for layer 3. Okay, 4. This is what you're going to need for layer 4. Okay, so, by the way, because I'm in creative mode, my items don't run down, so don't pay attention to the numbers. Again, 1, 2, 3 bits of glass. Leading off that middle glass towards the beehive, place 1 block of your choice. Facing, okay, this is a little difficult. Gonna be slightly tricky. You have to put a dispenser facing down into the beehive. That will shear it. See, none of the other faces are showing. Yeah, none don't. No, I want to place down it. Yes. So it must be facing into the beehive. That'll shear it. Put your shears into the dispenser. Put an observer facing... Okay, this is also tricky. So its face is facing away from the dispenser. And in front of the face, put a daylight sensor. So as you can see, there are little smoke particles. That means this works. You're gonna put your blocks all the way around. And yeah, that is everything for that layer. On to the final and last layer. Okay, for this final and last layer, you're going to fill in nearly every single block on top. Except for this one, the one that you put the block of your choice in right here. You're going to leave a little indent, put down 1 bit of redstone inside it, and on the edge of that block, put a button. So button powers this, powers redstone, powers this block, which powers the dispenser. And this might be familiar to you already, but whoop-de-doo, I think you have just completed your own bee farm. Actually getting the bees into it is another story. One of my more favorited methods is making a little hole in it, usually in the top, building a staircase so you can get up, find a group of bees like this one, bring them over with your good looks and charms, and definitely not the bee flower you're holding. These guys are full of pollen, actually. Yep, come this way. Come on. I'll feed some of them. Bring more than 1 flower, because if you feed them, then they'll follow you. Now, just up this way. Come on, bees. Bees. You need at least 2 bees for this to work. Wait for them all to come to you. Now fall in. 1 and 2. Seal them in. You have successfully trapped 2 bees in here. Now they've gone inside this hive, which is why they've mysteriously disappeared. When they go inside their hive, you can make your breakaway. Wait, how will I... Okay. This is difficult, guys. I'm sorry, but it's just the truth. Now, our bees finally are successfully trapped inside our machine, and it can... Where did you come from? And it can start running. I really hope the bees didn't mysteriously escape and that they're actually inside the hive. That would be, like, really, really useful. But, yeah. Anyway, you guys now know how this works. Actually, if the bees disappear, that's a good sign. That means they've accepted the hive as their new home. Completely automatic, except for breeding the bees. Honeycomb for days, convert it to sugar. Yeah, you got it. And that, guys, brings us to the end of the video. Hey, little guy. You're gonna just fly around me. Be nice, be happy. These bees are adorable, they're cute, they're bumbly, they're useful, they're helpful, they're busy, they're incredible. I think I'm going to love the 1.15 update, and I hope you guys will too. And I hope you guys can use these 5 cool build ideas in your next survival world in 1.15. And be sure to share this video with your friends. Tell them that I am the greatest YouTuber alive, and to subscribe to me. Only me. No, I'm kidding. You don't have to, guys, but at least leave a like on this video, because that'll be nice of you. Anyway, I think we're done here. Alright, goodbye!